Alright, what's going on everybody? Today we're kind of having a little bit of a just conversation about fighting your own class, because you may or may not learn something from somebody else that is just way better than you at the class. Some of you guys may have saw it, but I fought Proteus on his Zerker, and we were 1v1ing in the BA the other day, and he was streaming it, and it was really eye-opening for me because, you know, I'm out here thinking I'm like number one. Like it's crazy how different it is to fight someone who is next level on the class versus someone who hardly is losing. Because when I 1v1, typically I don't usually go bad or negative or even really lose all that often. And it's really interesting to see someone that is just so far above me, and I already thought that I was even farther than I was. It just put me back down to reality that I still have a long way to go. I learned a lot of things from fighting Proteus. I learned bad habits. I learned just everything that I was doing. There's a lot of things that I was doing that were bad habits that I get away with against other players because they don't necessarily know how to deal with the Zerker, because the Zerker is a rare breed of a class. It's like that same situation on, let's say, like a MOBA or any kind of like competitive game where there's like classes and characters that are niche, and if you pick that class you have an advantage of. Most people don't know how to deal with it because they don't fight it online necessarily. It's that same situation with Zerker. No one really knows how to deal with it other than people that actually puts effort into fighting a Zerker. And that was my issue, because I didn't know how to fight my own character, because it's like he's doing things that are so different from what I do. Like, you guys have seen my movement pretty much. I'm usually, you know, doing stuff like this right here, you know, jumping around and all around and doing all the usual Zerker things, but there's just things that I haven't been mixing in. Like, for one thing, this right here, fucking Frenzied Destroyer, but the ultimate version, holy shit, this move does so much goddamn damage, and I didn't have it slotted in because I didn't think it was worth it. However, Proteus used this shit on me with 234 AP and damn near about fucking half health me, and we have the same fucking year score. So like, this move is insane. I've never used it because I didn't think it was worth it. And so yeah, that was eye-opening. Another thing that I was completely unaware of, this move right here, you can get a fucking DP buff and cancel it. Didn't know that. Did not know that. Never used it. Not once have I used it. Same thing with this move right here. You get a DP buff. Never used it. Never fucking used it. Another thing I never really used, this right here. It knocks. Didn't know that. Didn't fucking know that. Using Titan Step into like your fucking Iron Buster, this knocks. This literally can knock people, so I really have never been using that. Instead, what I've been using is shooting mobility. That's what I use to normally get the stiff. And then I'll lava piercer into somebody or whatever. So I'll do something like boom, that, and then go in and get the grab, blah, 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 blah. That's typically what I'll do. But I did not know that Titan Step into Iron Buster would actually knock. I did not know that until he hit me with that like a bunch of times. And I was like, what the fuck, that's a thing? Another thing that blew my mind is he would Canon Spam very effectively, and I could not understand how he was doing it. And it was essentially like just shooting the Iron Buster, right, but incredibly fast. And how you would do that is you do blasting, and then you do RT or your Iron Buster, whatever, and you can just spam that shit super fucking fast. And I had no idea that you can do this, and it's really funny to me because it doesn't really have a whole lot of application because it doesn't do that much damage, first of all. However, the reason you would want to do this is so that way you can get a couple shots off, because this gives you your skill add-on for accuracy and evasion debuff for them. So that way it's one of those like, you need to get this off immediately. And also, if you kill someone while doing this, is the funniest shit, and also people don't know how to deal with it either. Although I believe that this doesn't knock per se, so like it doesn't really matter in like the most productive events, but still it's really cool to do, and also it has some use of unproccing your add-ons, so it's actually not that bad anyway. Another thing that I did not know, pre-buff with fucking Frenzied Destroyer. That right there, you see that? That's 16 AP and movement speed right there, baby. Now I'm all up in it. Had no idea. See, I don't read my abilities because I don't fucking care. Like, listen, it's a bad habit, but that's the truth. Like, most people don't really read their abilities, and it's like I've skimmed over the abilities to kind of understand what they do, but then there's just information that gets lost over time because I've been playing this class for a year. So it's like I genuinely either knew about it or just forgot about it, but I've never really pre-buffed in the sense of using Frenzy Destroyer into wind move or whatever the fuck it's called. And this is super good because like I have a 16 AP buff right there, and then now I have attack speed, move speed, and then now guess what? I just run at someone, fucking boom, bam, proc add-ons, bop, boom, someone's fucking dead. Like it's that simple, boys. It's that simple. These are all things that I was completely unaware of that I was never doing on Zerk, and this stepped up my game because like I said, I hardly lose. I literally almost never lose on my Zerker. You've seen the montage, you see my 1v1 clips. I don't really lose all that much. Maybe granted, I'm fighting weird people that don't necessarily know how to fight Zerker per se, but like the point being is like that puts me in a state of complacency, and I need that person to like set me back to keep me moving forward, because I'm sitting here thinking I'm number 1 or I'm like number 2, top 5, whatever, and fuck no, I'm not. I'm dog water at the game. That's just reality. That's just the fucking truth. I'm ass at the game. But I would have never known that if nobody put me in my place and taught me how to actually do some shit. So it is what it is. I'm actually curious. Oh, it's PreK. See, this is a good choice. Boom, bam, and then boom. Yep, he fucking dead. Get out of here, PreK, you little bitch. I'm just kidding. I love you, PreK. Don't eat my ass later. But anyway, this is just kind of a short little talk video kind of explaining my experience with learning the class. Still, even a year in, I think it's over a year now. Even over a year, I'm still learning new shit that I was completely unaware of. And yeah, I have a long way to go. Still learning movement. Still learning timing, everything. Still have a long way to go. I am nowhere near what I thought I was. Honestly, with that being said, it's sort of kind of motivated me to kind of make more guides based around classes and whatnot, because there's not a lot of information out there. Because if there was, I would have probably known this stuff. The amount of Zerk montages I watch compared to other classes, very minuscule. I mean, you got, you know, Kadum, Van Gogh, obviously Steve, Ming. You know, those are like pretty much the only people that I know that even play this class. I mean, obviously Proteus too, but like outside of that, but there's not a lot of information out there that's really explaining these mechanics. Like this fucking cannon mechanic, like bruh, like this shit is fire, and I don't understand how I did not know about it. Like I've done my own different version for a while, so instead of doing blasting, right, instead I'll use just buster training, and then then I'll hop. So boom, and then you can just keep doing it over and over and over with buster training. The problem with buster training is that it's slower than using blasting, but there is a pro to using buster training, is that you keep up your buff, so you have your attack speed buff while shooting. So it's one of those, you know, pick your poison, you know what I mean? You want to use blasting or you want to use buster training? I prefer to use blasting now because it's way faster to cancel, and on top of that, it's honestly just overall better. But yeah, the lack of information when it comes to certain classes really hurts that class, because nobody wants to play a class they don't understand, and nobody can learn, because they either have to find a teacher to teach them, or they have to find a person on YouTube that explains it. And there's not, you can't really talk about PC. Like if you watch a PC video and try and compare to console, it's very different. It's not the same. You know, you can watch his choices video, do his weird combo that he does, but like sometimes that doesn't apply to console because, you know, FPS reasons, or it doesn't apply because the gear doesn't match up properly, so it's too long of a combo to make any kind of sense. It's just one of those things that it doesn't translate over too well, at least not at the current time of content anyway. But for the most part, I mean, like the combo's pretty self-explanatory. It's just kind of you end with seismic blast and then you throw whatever the fuck you want at the end there. Half the time you can just one-shot somebody with this shit. Boom, bam, boop, bop, and then boom, we out of here. Like that 9 times out of 10 will kill people. Even the most basic combo, like let's say here, boom, bam, 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 that typically will kill someone right there, usually. Obviously, you want to keep buster training up, but normally you just get your grab and the Stormy Beast, Frenzy Destroyer, ground lifting, seismic, and then boom, someone's normally dead. The only people that are really surviving that are like evasion builds and like really tanky DP. Like if you don't have DP, or not DP, I'm sorry, AP, like at least 280 something, it's not going to make much difference, but once you're about 280 AP, you can kill majority of players with that. I mean, Proteus had like fucking 320 DP, and I was able to pretty much, not even 320, he had like 340 something, and I was able to kill him. We have the same AP and DP when he puts on his full gear. but like he's still able to fall over with a full combo. So like 280 is like the bare minimum, I'd say, to fight majority of players. Like literally 90% of players will lose to you if or have the possibility to lose to you if you have that AP. Oh yeah, last thing that I want to talk about that I actually forgot. Proteus mentioned that I did SideRT way too much, and I agree. I catch a lot of people with this dumb shit, and that's why I've built up such a habit with using it, because it's such an easy catch, because most people don't know how to deal with it. And normally I don't fight grab classes like the occasional striker or maybe the lawn, but outside of that I don't really fight a whole lot of grab classes. And it's really funny to me because like what I'll do is, like, instead of doing like the easy shit like this right here, that's more reliable realistically, but instead sometimes I will do I'll do like lava piercer into this right here and then do it and then go for a grab, just because it's like iframe into, you know, SideRT, but it's just better to go into, you know, super armor and then stomp. It's way easier. The other one looks fancy as fuck and has a chance to like knock, because you actually can knock people with this. It's just not super reliable. And also, if somebody has resistances, like Proteus couldn't knock me 90% of the time with this shit, and he had accuracy sub on and everything, and he had Kudum with the resist on, or the ignore resist, nothing. He barely was able to knock me 90% of the time. He just caught me with a lot of fucking stupid shit. If I was a better player, my resistances probably would have carried me 90% of the fight, which is really stupid. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys have learned a little bit of something, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
I'm the one, yeah she knows I'm the one, yeah she knows I don't